All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thought for Thursday. Took me a little while to get to you, but I am here nonetheless. Um, Looks like my technology is starting to work here, so that's good. I'm assuming that Facebook is up. Give me just a second. Let me make sure because we have definitely been having some difficulties here tonight. That's why I am a little late, like I said, but nonetheless, I'm here and I am ready for Thought for Thursday. Okay, good. I see that I am on over here. So, thank you so much for joining me. I feel like it's been so long since we've done this. The holidays have come and gone, and we focused in on what it is we needed to do to get through them, whatever that may be. All right. And now we are in a new year. And I know that this is a time when people frequently have resolutions and they make all of these promises to themselves. But I wanted to do something a little different rather than talking about resolutions or, the promises that we're going to make to ourselves for what it is we're going to do this year. I wanted us to talk about the things that we have to do, that we have to have in order for us to keep any promise, in order for us to keep any any resolve, anything that we have committed to. In order for us to keep our commitments, there are certain things that we need to have. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. So, Thought for Thursday is the segment that I bring to you on Thursdays. It's a part of Leveling Up the podcast. And it is the segment that we come to you again weekly, bringing an area where improvement can be made, bringing an area that's frequently a pain point for someone. And when we finish in 15 minutes, you will have 5 tools that you can use to apply to that pain point, to apply and make sure that you are excelling. So tonight I talked about, or in the teaser coming up to tonight, I talked about some characteristics that we need to have. It's great for us to make a commitment to do better, to do greater, to be greater in this year. But what are some of the things that are going to encourage us, that are going to help us along the way, that are going to solidify our commitment to actually doing better and being better? There's certain things that we definitely need to have in place. So, what are some of those things that I'm talking about? Well, we got to be determined. Determination is a big piece of it. Without that determination, we're going to give up pretty easily. And there's no question about that. If you've ever resolved to do something, if you've ever committed to do something that's a bit of a challenge, think about the minute you have decided that you're not going to be determined about it. Well, then that chances are means that it's not going to occur. Um, we frequently think that when we make commitments to ourselves, it starts with the thing that we're going after. This whole process of getting to that is actually the new job we're going to have. That means things are going to change. That's going to bring about our change. Our what it is that we have changed or that we're going after in relationships, whatever it is. But the bottom line is what's going to bring about the change are some things that you put in place to ensure that you're going to firm up the decision that you've made. Determination is one of those things that you must have in order to do that. So, what else do you need to have? Well, we always talk about values, and of course, those are important, right? If determination is the engine, well, truly, values are is the steering wheel. Okay, so many of us try to kind of reinvent without really having our values in place. We don't have clarity around what it is that we want to do or what actually matters to us. And that's how we really do end up not being successful. If we have that clarity, the chances are a lot better if where our chances at being successful are a lot better. Your values respond to questions like, what will I no longer tolerate? What do I want my life to reflect? What matters more than approval? That's a big one because we're big on approval, aren't we? Well, the values that we hold are really our internal compass. It tells us, it provides us with that direction, right? That we need, that we pursue internally. When you know your values, your decisions really do get easier. I'm not going to say they're always easy, but they do get easier because you can match them up with those values. And so even when it's hard, you can kind of justify and be able to kind of come to some resolution because you're saying, okay, this is lining up with this that's really important to me. So that's going to help me in pushing a little further because it's important to me. What else? Knowledge. Knowledge. We've already talked about that a bit, but understanding yourself first, that's very, very important. It's not just information that you're getting, but it's a self awareness. So before you can really make changes in your life, your career, or your purpose, or what have you, you really do have to understand how it is that you operate. That, in many instances, is going to be the key to your success in bringing about the change. Knowing how you operate, knowing what's going to keep you from moving, knowing what really kind of incentive, gives you an incentive to move. What is it that really drains you? Something that's going to drain you that at the end of the day, or, at any given period, you're really going to give up because you are just flatlining. You're tired. You're out of it. You have no more energy. Where is it that you've kind of been repeating bad patterns? Those patterns that aren't going to help you to bring about change in your life. This kind of knowledge is what you need because it helps you to stop really blaming yourself for things that you kind of weren't designed to fit you in the first place. Those things that, help you to operate, they fit you. Those things that drain you, they probably don't fit you so well. They energize you, yeah, they probably fit you. Repeating things that are going to lead you to repeat patterns that aren't beneficial to you, probably not in your best interest, right? What else do you need? You have to, of course, make sure that you have some tools, some sustainable tools, not just any tools, but some that are really going to help you to support the change that you want to make. And that's going to help you in sustaining that change. So if you have all these other things that I'm talking about, and in particular, I'm thinking right away about determination, of course, the values and all of that. But if you have all of that without tools, then that's going to lead to some burnout. So you need tools that are going to help you to stay focused. That's very important for those who have attention, who have attention challenges. You need something that's going to help you to stay focused. Something that's going to measure your progress. Frequently, if you understand you have made some progress, it's not going to, or it's going to be what you need to keep you progressing. What are some things that are going to help you to interrupt those old bad habits? Those are tools that you need. And what are some things that are going to help you to build new rhythms, a new rhythm to life, a new rhythm to change, a new rhythm to doing things? So a tool doesn't really replace effort. It just helps in the consistency. That's what I want you to see as your tool when we're talking those characteristics, those things that are going to undergird what it is that you're trying to do. So the right tools, don't think it's going to make things easy. I keep stressing that, but it makes it possible. It makes it easier. And think of that. Sometimes that's all we need to actually get going. Something that's going to give us some hope, that's going to show us, okay, this might be possible. No person reinvents alone. Keep that in mind. And you're definitely not going to be able to do it if you leave these components out of it. The last piece is mindset. key. Oh my goodness, mindset matters more than so much. It's the voice that you listen to. It filters through things that you're trying to interpret. You can't have determination and values and knowledge, what else? And tools. Um, you can have all of those, but if your mindset, even with the tools, is rooted in fear, is rooted in guilt or scarcity. Many of us don't do better because we have a scarcity mindset and believe that we can't or we're meant to live in scarcity. You're going to sabotage your progress. So make sure that you're doing things to get your mindset aligned. What is it? Do an inventory. Ask yourself, do I believe that change is possible for me? Got to believe it's possible if it's going to happen. Do I trust myself to be able to do it? Am I willing to release those things that really aren't doing me any good? Am I willing to release who I used to be for the change that I want? That is critical. So it really does require releasing a version of you, not releasing all that you know and all that you've done. People often think reinvention is impossible because it means you got to totally change who you are and what you've ever done in life. That's not true. You build, you use it to make the things that you want to change. All right. So, very quickly, 5 tools. We've just talked about all the things that really need to be in place, right? All the things that we really need to be in place that are going to help us, that are going to support us in making the change that we need to bring about. So, what do you need to do? Well, first of all, let's do a reinvention inventory. Take a look. Do a tools inventory. What is it that you are really looking at? Okay. How is it? What is it that I need? What are my values looking like? You know, all the things that we just talked about. You want to do an inventory to make sure you understand where you are with these things. What's working? What's draining me? What am I tolerating that I shouldn't be? What's the second tool that you need? Turn on that value filter. Something we talked about also. It's very important. I'm having some challenges here turning on my little tabs, but turn on the value filter and do this. Write the top 3 values before making a decision. Okay. I want you to ask yourself those values. Do they align with who I am becoming? When you ask that question, that kind of really anchors those values and the mindset. So you want to apply a values filter. The third tool that you're going to want to make sure that you have in place is it's a knowledge of the must-haves. What do I mean about the must-haves? Those are the things that are really non-negotiable for you. You have to have this. Identify, again, we're going with threes. Identify 3 things that you commit to no matter what. You must have rest, for example. You must have prayer. You must have exercise. You must have learning. You must have boundaries. All right. Those are examples of must haves, non negotiables. Look at those 3. All right. When you are setting yourself up to make a change. The fourth thing is that whole thought reframe. We talked mindset. And if we're talking mindset, well, chances are that means we're going to have to reframe the way in which we think. We may have to reframe how we think about what we think of ourselves, what we think of our jobs, what we think of any given thing. Just take a look at it. And when a limiting thought appears, ask this: is this a fact or a habit? Am I feeling that this is limiting because it's been a habit of mine? That doesn't make it right. I just do it all the time. Does this habit mean that what I'm going through or who I am or what I'm experiencing right now is factually true for me? It's a fact. Or is it just something that has been grounded in tradition, grounded as a habit? Then replace it with some grounded truth. Put some truth in the place of it. I frequently talk about how I combat the negative mindset when I tell myself I can't do this, or, this idea is not going to work. Who am I to think that I can develop a whole, different system over here? Then you have to combat that with, well, there was that one time when I did develop a system that was used, or that actually it's still being used. You've got to find something that is going to be the ammunition that is going to refute that negative thought. Keep that in mind. And the last thing is you have to make sure, or a wonderful tool is your support structure. It's imperative that you have the right support, a coach, a community, a system, a structured tool of some sort that's really going to help to sustain and going to keep you accountable. Accountability is key. So, as we wrap this up, and we've gone a little over here, but I want you to remember that when you're making change, it's not really about becoming someone else. It's really about using all that you've had to change in order to make life, to make purpose, to make the career what it is that you desire for it to be. You never throw everything out. There's always some piece of what you've gone through, what you've done, what you've experienced, what you have that you can use in molding what you are becoming, what you are making happen, the change that you want to see. You need commitment to the person that you are becoming. Commit to that person. Think of it that way, as opposed to sticking to a resolution just because it's a resolution. No, commit to it because it is helping you to be who it is you desire to be, and use those tools in order to firm up what you're trying to do, in order to give you the ammunition, the strength to uphold the change that you're trying to make. You already have what it takes. I always say that. You need to commit to it and put these tools in place so that you can activate things. All right. So thank you so much for joining in tonight. I appreciate that. Of course, you may watch this during the day, at night, whatever it is. I thank you for listening. And we've got some great things coming up. Speaking of inventory, if you would, just under this live here, put in the comments inventory. I do have an inventory tool that I would love to share with you if you want to kind of get an assessment of where am I right now. It's a wonderful tool that will help you to kind of get things jump started. Just put inventory in the comments. All right. And that's it. Listen, go out and touch something with that fingerprint of yours that is unique to you. You and you alone have it. There's no one else in the world who has that imprint that you have. Go out and make things better for you. Make it better for someone else. Go out and be authentically yourself. I always say you are the best you that's out there. Don't compromise it. Just be you. I guarantee you, even if somebody may not agree with you, there is somebody who does, who can resonate, who can see you or see themselves when they look at you. Go make things better for you. Believe that it can be done. Pursue that life where you thrive and don't just live in mediocrity. And go out, not just today, but always focus on being well. Until I see you next time. All right.